the heart of San Francisco, where fog rolls in from the bay and steep hills challenge even the most seasoned drivers, a peculiar sight caught the eye of passers-by on a crisp autumn morning. Firefighter Sarah Chen, known for her unwavering dedication to duty, was seen sprinting down the sidewalk. But it wasn't a fire that spurred her into action. It was a small, orange tabby cat racing ahead of her, its tail held high like a banner. This city, famous for its Golden Gate Bridge and diverse neighborhoods, is home to not just people but also a significant population of stray animals. Cats, in particular, have found their niche in the urban landscape, often becoming unofficial mascots of local businesses and residential blocks alike. However, the relationship between these feline inhabitants and city officials has always been complicated until now. Sarah Chen had been with the San Francisco Fire Department for 5 years, earning a reputation for her bravery and quick thinking. On this particular morning, she was returning to the station after a routine equipment check when she first spotted the orange blur darting between parked cars. Curiosity piqued, she decided to investigate, never imagining that this small detour would lead to one of the most memorable days of her career. As Sarah approached, the cat stopped and turned, its green eyes locking onto hers with an intensity that made her pause. There was something in that gaze, a mix of intelligence and urgency that compelled her to follow as the cat suddenly took off again. Trusting her instincts, honed by years of responding to emergencies, Sarah gave chase. The cat led her through a maze of alleyways and side streets, deeper into a neighborhood she knew was scheduled for demolition to make way for new development. Most of the buildings stood empty, windows boarded up, and doors chained shut. It was in front of one such building that the cat finally stopped, pawing at the door and meowing insistently. Sarah's training kicked in immediately. She scanned the building, noting signs of recent activity, fresh scuff marks on the door frame, a discarded food wrapper that hadn't yet been blown away by the wind. "Hello," she called out, pressing her ear to the door. At first there was only silence, but then faintly she heard what sounded like a child's whimper. Without hesitation, Sarah radioed for backup and began assessing how to enter the building safely. As she waited for her colleagues to arrive, she noticed the cat watching her intently, as if approving of her actions. "You're quite the hero, aren't you?" she murmured, reaching out to scratch behind its ears. To her surprise, the cat allowed the touch, even leaning into her hand. Within minutes, the quiet street was transformed into a hive of activity. Police secured the perimeter while Sarah and her team forced entry into the building. Inside, they discovered a young boy, no more than 7 years old, huddled in a corner of the second floor. He was scared and hungry but otherwise unharmed. As paramedics checked him over, the boy's story emerged. He had run away from a troubled foster home 2 days ago and sought shelter in the abandoned building. Throughout the rescue operation, the orange tabby remained close by, observing everything with those striking green eyes. When the boy was brought out, wrapped in a shock blanket, the cat approached and rubbed against his legs, purring loudly. For the first time since being found, the child smiled, reaching down to pet his feline friend. The story of the cat led rescue quickly captured the imagination of local news outlets. By evening, Sarah Chen and her unusual partner were the talk of the city. Social media buzzed with photos of the duo, the tall, uniformed firefighter and the small orange cat sitting proudly beside her boots. Memes sprouted overnight, with captions ranging from Paw Patrol San Francisco edition to "Not all heroes wear capes, some wear fur." As the media frenzy grew, so did interest in the fate of the heroic cat. Animal shelters across the city reported a spike in adoption inquiries, with many specifically asking for orange tabbies. The San Francisco SPCA seized the opportunity to launch a campaign highlighting the intelligence and loyalty of rescue animals, featuring photos of Sarah and her feline friend. For Sarah, the decision was clear from the moment the rescue was complete. With approval from her superiors, she adopted the cat, naming him Phoenix, a nod to both his fiery color and the symbolism of rising from the ashes of abandoned buildings to become a hero. Phoenix quickly adapted to life at the fire station, becoming a mascot of sorts for Sarah's unit. But Phoenix's role went beyond mere mascot. Sarah, recognizing the cat's keen senses and intelligence, began to wonder if he could be trained for search and rescue operations. While dogs were traditionally used for such tasks, there was precedent for cats assisting in certain types of searches, particularly in collapsed buildings where their smaller size and agility could be advantageous. With support from her department and consultation with animal behavior experts, Sarah embarked on a groundbreaking program to train Phoenix. The process was not without its challenges. Cats, after all, are notoriously independent creatures. But Phoenix seemed to thrive on the mental stimulation, and the bond with Sarah grew stronger with each training session. Months passed, and Phoenix's skills developed remarkably. He learned to alert handlers to the presence of humans in mock disaster scenarios, navigate through tight spaces, and even indicate air quality changes, a crucial ability in fire situations. The program garnered attention from fire departments across the country, with many expressing interest in developing their own feline search and rescue units. 1 year after the initial rescue, Sarah and Phoenix were called to assist in a real emergency, a partial building collapse following an earthquake. As they arrived on the scene, Sarah felt a mixture of anticipation and nervousness. This was the moment of truth, the test of whether all their training would pay off in a real-world situation. Phoenix performed flawlessly. His keen senses and small size allowed him to access areas that were too dangerous or small for human rescuers. Thanks to his alerts, 2 survivors were located and safely extracted from the rubble. The success of the operation made national news, cementing Phoenix's status as a pioneering figure in animal-assisted rescue work. The story of Sarah Chen and Phoenix serves as a powerful reminder of the unexpected ways in which heroes can emerge. It highlights the potential for innovation in even the most established fields and the remarkable bonds that can form between humans and animals. Moreover, it sparked a wider conversation about the role of animals in society and the importance of giving shelter animals a second chance at life. As for Phoenix, he continues to split his time between important naps in the sun at the fire station and rigorous training sessions with Sarah. His journey from stray cat to celebrated rescue hero has inspired countless others, both human and animal, to rise above their circumstances and make a difference in the world. In San Francisco, a city known for embracing the unconventional, a small orange cat has become a symbol of hope, courage, and the extraordinary potential that lies within every living being, if only given the chance to shine.